I never thought a place like Big Sky Agri-Supplies in the heart of Montana could feel so fragile. But looking back, it was always one man holding it together. That man was Jack Harlan, the kind of guy who'd been with the company since before the internet made farming high-tech.
I'm Luke Duffson.
And I've worked here for 8 years as a logistics coordinator, watching Jack from the sidelines. He wasn't family, but he might as well have been the unsung hero who kept our family-owned operation humming through blizzards, market crashes, and everything in between. Big Sky was started by Old Man Harlan, no relation to Jack. Just a coincidence in names, back in the 70s. Supplying seeds, equipment, and tech to ranches across the western states. By the time I joined, it had grown into a mid-sized empire, with warehouses in Billings and Missoula, serving folks from Wyoming to Idaho. Jack had been there for 22 years, starting as a mechanic fixing tractors and evolving into the wizard who automated our entire supply chain. He built custom software on his own time, scripts that tracked inventory in real time, predicted shortages based on weather data from NOAA, and even integrated drone surveillance for remote deliveries.
No fanfare.
Just quiet efficiency. His office was a cluttered corner in the main warehouse, surrounded by servers he jury-rigged from old parts, humming like a loyal pack of dogs. Then there was Emily Vaughn, the flashy niece of the current owner, Tom Harlan. Emily had that big city polish from her time in Seattle, always in designer boots and blazers that screamed executive material. She handled marketing and strategic partnerships, which mostly meant schmoozing at trade shows and posting inspirational quotes on LinkedIn about ranching in the digital age. But operationally, she couldn't tell a SQL query from a saddle horn. I'd seen her botch simple orders, like mixing up fertilizer shipments for 2 major clients, only for Jack to swoop in after hours, reroute the trucks via his custom app, and email the fixes signed under her name. She never knew, or if she did, she never acknowledged it. Team effort, she'd say with a wink, taking the credit in meetings. Sundays were Jack's unspoken ritual. No one asked him to come in, but there he'd be, coffee thermos in hand, fine-tuning the system while the rest of us barbecued or hiked the Rockies. I once found him napping at his desk, a half-eaten apple turnover crumbling in his lap, screen flickering with logs only he could decipher. Just keeping the wolves at bay, he'd mutter if I asked. He trained me when I started, patiently walking me through his dashboards without ever making me feel dumb. It's all about flow, he'd say. Like a river through the valley, block it, and everything floods. The tension built slowly, like a storm rolling over the Bitterroots. Tom announced a new position, Director of Operations. It was meant to modernize us, bring in fresh vision as the company expanded. Everyone knew Jack was the obvious choice. He'd basically been doing the job unpaid for years. I cornered him in the break room one day. "You applying?" He shrugged, staring out at the endless prairie. "Maybe. But folks like me don't fit the glossy mold." His voice carried a weariness, not bitterness, but the kind that comes from years of being invisible. Emily, meanwhile, turned the application into a spectacle. She paraded around with printed vision boards, quoting TED Talks about disruptive innovation in agriculture. Her pitch included a video of her at a ranch expo, talking about empowering the heartland with synergy. Jack's submission? A straightforward report. Optimized supply chain, reduced losses by 52% over 5 years. Developed proprietary tracking systems, saving $200,000 annually. No external consultants needed.
Facts. No fluff.
The drama peaked when Emily nearly derailed a major seed delivery during a heat wave. She approved a vendor switch without checking compatibility with Jack's software, causing a cascade of errors, trucks idling in the wrong depots, farmers calling furious about delayed plantings. Emily paced the office, fanning herself dramatically. This tech is ancient. We need an upgrade.
Jack,
Without a word, pulled out his personal laptop, ran a diagnostic he'd coded himself, and fixed it in minutes. You overrode the safety protocol, he said quietly. Next time, loop me in. She patted his arm like he was a faithful dog. You're a lifesaver.
Jack.
What would we do without you? That night, I saw him update a private log on his drive. He didn't say it, but I sensed the shift. A man realizing his loyalty was a one-way street. When the promotion went to Emily, the email hit like a gut punch. Emily brings dynamic leadership and a people-first approach, it read. Not a mention of Jack's contributions. I watched him read it, face impassive, then close his laptop with a soft click. He walked into Tom's office, envelope in hand. My resignation, he said. Tom's voice rose through the door. You can't just leave. This is unprofessional. Jack's reply was calm. So, is overlooking the guy who built your backbone for someone who shines brighter. He didn't storm out. Just gathered his thermos, nodded at me with a half smile that said, wait and see, and drove off in his battered Ford pickup, dust kicking up on the gravel road. That was the start of the unraveling. The first cracks appeared before Jack's 2 weeks were up, but no one connected the dots yet. Emily called a team huddle in the warehouse, her voice echoing off the metal shelves stacked with irrigation parts. We're kicking off a new era, she beamed, clicking through slides on her iPad. Let's amplify our synergies and pivot to agile ranching solutions. Someone asked about the inventory tracker, Jack's baby, which auto-flagged low stock based on seasonal forecasts. Emily waved it off. We'll modernize that clunky old thing.
For now.
Circle back if issues pop up. Issues did pop up.
Fast.
By day 2, a supplier email bounced because Emily had streamlined the contact list without backing up Jack's custom filters. Farmers in Wyoming started complaining about delayed equipment deliveries, their voices crackling over the phone like dry thunder. Where's Jack? He always had this sorted. Emily forwarded the complaints to the team with a note. Handle this proactively. Brand integrity matters. I knew Jack had left a transition doc, but when Emily opened it, her face fell. It was a single page, core systems documented in attached repo. Access requires my auth key. Contact me if needed. You've got this. No repo attached. She'd brushed off his offers to train her, saying she preferred fresh starts.
Now.
The dashboards flickered with errors, red alerts popping like prairie fires. The legal side was clearer than ever. Jack had emailed HR years ago, clarifying that his scripts, developed on personal time with open-source tools, weren't company property unless licensed. They'd replied, noted. Focus on deliverables. No follow-up contract. In Montana law, that meant he owned them. Plain and simple. Emily tried to rally, hosting a vision workshop with catered barbecue. We're resilient, like the pioneers who tamed this land. But behind the scenes, she was unraveling. I overheard her on the phone with Tom. These systems are a mess. Jack left us high and dry.
Tom.
Ever the family man.
Sighed.
You wanted the job. Figure it out. That night, the automated weather-integrated alerts failed, and we lost a big order to frost damage because no one got the heads up. Jack, meanwhile, had gone quiet. His auto-reply was polite. I've left Big Sky Agri. For tech inquiries, contact the new director of operations. Best wishes. He didn't ghost entirely. I got a text from him a week later. Doing consulting now. Smaller outfit in Bozeman. They value the grit. He'd landed at Rocky Mountain Logistics, a competitor, with a fat salary bump and equity. They recognized his systems from industry buzz and snapped him up. Back at Big Sky, the drama escalated. Emily's first big pitch to a new client, a massive Idaho potato farm, bombed when the demo dashboard crashed mid-call. Technical glitch, she stammered. The client hung up, emailing later. We'll stick with folks who have reliable ops. Tom called an emergency meeting, his face weathered like old leather. Emily, what's the plan? She deflected. We need consultants. Jack's stuff was proprietary, borderline sabotage. But legal chimed in. No, it's his. We never claimed it. Montana statute protects personal IP developed off-clock. I felt the weight of it all. Jack wasn't vengeful. He was just done being the invisible glue. He'd warned them, offered to license his tools cheaply, but they'd ignore him.
Now,
Vendors were pulling back, citing instability. One old-timer rancher called personally. Jack kept y'all honest. Without him, you're just shiny talk. Emily's confidence cracked. She started snapping at staff, her dramatic flair turning to desperation. Why can't anyone fix this? She'd yell, slamming her office door. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, I drove out to Jack's place, a modest cabin on the outskirts of Billings. He was tinkering with a drone in his garage, flannel shirt rolled up. Luke, he greeted, offering a beer. How's the circus? I told him about the chaos, the lost clients. His eyes softened. Wasn't my intent to burn it down. Just wanted recognition. We talked late into the night, his motives clear, years of loyalty met with indifference. But there was no rage, just quiet resolve. Folks forget the hands that build the house until the roof caves in. By week's end, Big Sky was hemorrhaging. Tom confided in me. We promoted flash over substance. Now we're paying. Emily, sensing the tide, started job hunting on the sly. The family drama thickened. Tom's wife, Emily's aunt, pleaded for harmony, but the business teetered. Jack's absence wasn't just operational, it was emotional. A hole in the heart of our Western work ethic. The storm hit full force in the third week, turning Big Sky into a pressure cooker of blame and regret. Emily's modernization efforts backfired spectacularly. She hired a freelance coder from Upwork to revamp the dashboards, but without Jack's source code, it was like patching a bullet hole with duct tape. The new setup clashed with existing vendors, causing a chain reaction, incorrect shipments to ranches in Utah, overcharges that sparked disputes, and even a minor regulatory flag from the USDA on supply chain compliance. In the West, where farms operate on razor-thin margins, word spread like wildfire. Big Sky was unreliable. Tom called in the family for a closed-door meeting in the old boardroom, overlooking the vast Montana plains. Emily sat rigid, her usual poise shattered, eyes red from sleepless nights. This is fixable, she insisted, voice trembling. We just need to invest in off-the-shelf software. Tom rubbed his temples. Emily, that costs 6 figures. Jack built ours for pennies. The aunt, Martha, chimed in softly. We should have listened to him. He was family in all but blood. I was pulled in as a witness, having worked closest with Jack. He offered to train us, I said. But we pushed him aside. The room fell silent, the weight of oversight hanging heavy. Legally, it was airtight. Jack's emails from 2018 documented his IP rights under U.S. copyright law for software, especially since no work-for-hire clause covered his off-hours creations. Tom's lawyer advised, reach out. License it properly. or rebuild from scratch. Emily resisted at first, her pride a barrier thicker than a Montana winter. But when a key client, a cattle operation in Wyoming, defected to Rocky Mountain Logistics, citing seamless transitions under Jack's guidance, she cracked. "Fine," she muttered. "Call him."
Tom did.
Leaving a voicemail. "Jack, we messed up. Let's talk terms." Jack's response came via email. "Happy to license. Standard commercial rate. No hard feelings." The negotiation was tense but fair. Jack drove over in his pickup, looking unchanged, jeans, boots, thermos in hand. The meeting in Tom's office felt like a family intervention. "I didn't leave to destroy you," Jack said evenly, eyes meeting each of ours. "But I couldn't stay where my work was invisible." Emily avoided his gaze, mumbling an apology. "I thought leadership was about vision, not nuts and bolts." Jack nodded. "Vision without foundation is just a mirage in the desert." They agreed on a license, annual fee, with Jack providing basic support. It wasn't punitive, more humane, giving Big Sky a lifeline while underscoring a lesson. As he left, he pulled me aside. "Keep an eye on things,
Luke.
Value the quiet ones." That night, the systems hummed back to life. But the drama lingered. Emily stepped back from ops, focusing on marketing where her strengths lay. Tom started cross-training everyone, vowing no more single points of failure. Yet the emotional scars ran deep. I saw it in the staff's eyes, the realization that loyalty isn't infinite. Jack's move wasn't revenge. It was self-respect. A quiet stand in a loud world. With the license in place, Big Sky stabilized. But the real work was mending the human side. Emily, humbled, sought therapy in Billings. Admitting her ambition had blinded her to others' worth. I treated Jack like a tool, not a person, she confessed in a team email, her vulnerability raw. Tom organized a retreat in the Absaroka Mountains bonfires. Stories.
No agendas.
We're family, he said. Let's act like it. Jack visited occasionally, not as a savior, but a consultant. His presence brought closure. Dialogues flowed. Tense at first, then cathartic. "Why didn't you fight harder for the promotion?" I asked him one afternoon, as we fixed a fence on the property line. He paused, hammer in hand. Fighting implies they valued the fight. I chose peace elsewhere. His new role at Rocky Mountain suited him: autonomy, respect, even a small team he mentored. The mystery element unfolded when an anonymous tip led to an internal audit, minor discrepancies in past reports, traceable to Emily's overrides.
No fraud.
Just negligence. Legally, it was a slap on the wrist, a fine from state regulators, but it forced accountability. Emily faced it head-on, testifying. I signed off blindly. Lesson learned. The family rallied around her, turning drama into growth. Jack's humane touch shone in the endgame. He waived the first license payment, saying, "Build better from here." It sparked a ripple. Tom established a recognition program for unsung heroes, naming it after Jack. Staff morale lifted, operations smoothed. As months passed, Big Sky transformed, not through flash, but solid foundations. Emily thrived in her redefined role, her drama channeling into creative campaigns that boosted sales. Tom retired partially, passing reins to a balance team. I rose to ops lead, applying Jack's lessons daily. Jack and I stayed friends. He'd invite me fishing on the Yellowstone, sharing wisdom. Revenge corrodes the soul. Better to walk away and let life teach. The light lesson? Value people over polish. True strength lies in quiet competence. In the end, the empire didn't crumble, it evolved. More humane, rooted in the Western spirit of resilience and respect. And Jack? He found his peace under the big sky. A reminder that sometimes the greatest revenge is living well